important to communicate with the team members on a regular basis, to set up ways for them to communicate with their colleagues as well. So not just the one-way check-in on from the boss to the team member, or from the team member to the boss, but for the team as a whole, to be able to communicate with each other. We use Slack for this. We set up what we call a celebrations channel on Slack, and it was started with the view that the management team in the organization would be able to recognize how people were performing. So our team would get on, they say, I've just got a great appointment for this client, I've just got a great appointment for that client, and we could recognize that. But what it's turned into is a platform or a forum for everybody to celebrate. So when one agent gets a good appointment and they put that up on the Slack channel for celebrations, it's not just the management team who are coming in and patting them on the back, it's their colleagues as well as celebrating, and that helps lift everybody. I think that's a really important thing to do, is to have that communication side of things. I think also people need to feel they're doing worthwhile work or valuable work. And sometimes work can be very mundane, but if they've got something that they know that they need to achieve, which could be over an hour, it could be over a day, it could be over a week. I wouldn't go beyond a week, but they've got something that they can achieve, a target or a deadline or something like that to get things done in. They know that they're achieving their objectives. They know that they're valued and the work that they're doing is worthwhile. So in sales, giving activity-based targets for them to achieve on a daily and weekly basis is a great way to not so much incentivize, but motivate them and to let them realize what is valuable in the business right now. And so that they can go home at the end of the day feeling I've contributed to the business today. And by going home, all they're doing is probably coming out of their work area into another part of their own home these days. But nonetheless, they can put their work away and say, actually, I had a really good day. So setting and managing to targets, celebrating when those targets are achieved, but celebrating along the way as well, I think are really important things to do, and keep people accountable for the goals that they set, as well as for the targets that you set for them.
Yeah, all good advice. I think for me, there's a really good opportunity here to create a culture of self-management, and a genuine culture of self-management. I think that in the normal environment where we work in the office, we can all be guilty of kind of micromanagement in some respects, and of sort of, I guess, checking up on people, or giving people their targets. And I think that's the nature of most businesses. I think we'd all accept that, as much as we recognize the negatives of that, there's always an element of that built within our business. And what I've found is that we've been forced to think differently, and I'd like to think we're reasonably, or we encourage autonomy anyway, but the response from people in the first week or two after the big fallout off the back of coronavirus, for us, was people upped their game massively, working in a new environment from home with new technology solutions, all that kind of stuff. We saw people just up their game and just realize that, geez, these times are tough, there's something happening, I have got to work hard. And whether that's a survival instinct, i.e. self-preservation, I don't want to lose my job, and I know that the clients are stopping their work with us, and that's going to have an impact, or whether that was a care factor, i.e. I care about this business and I want it to do well, I'm going to need to up my game. And the truth is, it was probably a bit of both, but whatever happened, we saw people massively up their game, and that was instinctive. And for me, that's a reminder of the buy-in that you've got from people, and the trust that we should be giving people to do the right thing. And without being able to see everything and hear everything all the time, we have to shift our mindset slightly. And for me, that's about getting people to set their own targets, getting people to define what good looks like. At the moment, there is no normality. There is no, it should look like this. So you do that, that happens. And it's not a straight line anymore. It's something that we're even learning about. So we have to be open-minded and be working with people to let them set their own targets, set their own definition of success, and just holding them accountable to that. So again, I think it's about clear communication, and it's about adaptability. Are you, as a leadership team, prepared to adapt to the situation that we're in, and not be beating the same old drum, saying the same old things, but saying, yeah, let's try that, or let's give this a go, or let's try a different tact, or actually, yeah, look, those numbers, they're not normal, but that's the state that we're in right now. We're not looking for normality. We're looking for you to be creative. How do you solve that problem? What can I do to help? Those sorts of things are the conversations we should be having. But I think to answer the question directly, how do we manage teams working from home? All the adaptability and stuff in the world is great, but if the communication isn't there, then it won't work. And I think, you know, I've harped on a lot about that in many of the talks, many of the questions that you've asked today, but communication is absolutely key. Keep communicating with people, stay connected with them, and they'll work hard for you. If you forget about them because it's out of sight, out of mind, then they'll go missing, and it'll cost you, and it'll cost the work that you're doing for your clients.